Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman, and tonight we're doing the news. So let us begin. The first article I have comes to us from Time and Tide watches. And this was a write-up on a limited edition that Hodinkee has done with Nivada Grenchen. These are watches that ship on NATO straps, and apparently this is the first limited edition that Hodinkee has done ever since being acquired by Watches of Switzerland. And as most of you know, I love Nivada Grenchen. Apparently this piece is modeled after a rare 1960s Antarctic GMT, the reference 87013. I love the GMT hand on these watches and the way they did the 24-hour portion of the dial. The applied indices look great. I love the case shape and how they did the two crowns, and it looks amazing on a NATO strap. Even though I'm not a fan of date windows, this one was well executed. It has beveled edges on it and a frame. And the date wheel is white on black, which perfectly fits this dial. So it actually looks like it's part of the design. The reference number on these watches is 32073A. And the case size is 36 millimeters. Perfect. The case height is 11.1 millimeters. The water resistance is 100 meters. The crystal is sapphire, and the movement inside of these is the Soprod C125. And these are limited to 225 pieces. They retail for $1,740. So that's not an insignificant amount of money. Next up, we have an article from Monochrome Watches. And this is a piece on a Panerai Reissue. And when I saw the images of this watch, it looked so great. I decided to include it in this episode. The dial is nice and minimal, and that case finish looks so great. It has kind of a blasted finish to it, which suits the design of the watch. From the 1910s to 1993, Panerai watches were exclusively worn by military personnel. That date is highly important for the Italian watchmaker, which moved from being a military-only supplier to offering its Luminor and Radiomir watches to the public, under the so-called pre-Vendôme era, before being acquired in 1997 by the Richemont Group, then the Vendôme Group. Among the watches available at that time were several references 5218. And that's what these pieces are. PAM 05218. The case size is 44 millimeters. The case height is 13 millimeters. The crystal is sapphire, and they have 300 meters of water resistance. The movement inside these is the P.6000 in-house movement. And they retail for $8,800. So yeah. Okay, this next article I was super stoked about when I saw it come through on my various feeds. D1 Milano is putting out translucent watches. I love clear watches. And it looks like these are available in a number of colorways. There's the mint, there's blue, there's clear, and I think sort of a smoky color. Those mint ones look amazing. Those are the ones that I think I'm most stoked about. So the case and the bracelet are made of nylon. They're quartz pieces, and they definitely have the D1 Milano design language to them. They look great when they're on the wrist, and they just look super fun. And they're definitely the most affordable watches we've seen on this list so far. And at least the one that I pulled this reference number from is the D1 NYB J04. And I'm pretty sure the other colorways have slightly different reference numbers. The case size is 39 millimeters. The case and bracelet are nylon. The crystal is mineral. Inside these watches is the Seiko VJ21 quartz. They have a water resistance of 50 meters, and they retail for under $200. Barely. $195. Yeah, they just look super fun. Yeah. Clear watches are great. And the last article I have is pretty interesting. This is a story about a clock that might have been owned by JFK. I found this on Hodinkee first and the full article at the LA Times. And it's about a guy who bought a clock on eBay for $280. Now, he is a retired watchmaker, and his son is currently a watchmaker. The 95-year-old retired watchmaker has spent decades trying to uncover the backstory, a possible Kennedy connection of a clock he found online in 1999. Bill Anderson was close to 70 when he first spotted the clock. It looked like a ship's wheel, a kitschy but bit of decor you might see at a nautical-themed bar. But he was drawn to it because of its maker. This is a Chelsea clock. Anderson, a retired watchmaker and collector, was particularly interested in the base of the Chelsea comet, which was engraved with the initials JFK. The mystery of the clock's provenance, could it possibly be the real deal, has animated his life for years. This, Anderson said, is a nice game that I've got going here. He purchased the clock in 1999 from a seller on eBay, a New Hampshire dealer who'd picked it up at an estate sale in Wellesley, Massachusetts for $280. In the intervening years, Anderson, who is 95, has plumbed the cloistered world of clock collectors. His hunt would take him to the online message boards of watch and clock aficionados, and the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum. It would eventually lead to a refrigerated vault 200 feet below ground in a former limestone mine in rural Pennsylvania. The market for those timepieces with ties to the Kennedys is particularly strong. Jacqueline Kennedy's Cartier tank sold for nearly $380,000 in 2017. And JFK's Omega fetched $420,000 in 2005. Marilyn Monroe, this photo of her was taken in 1962, apparently gifted the president a Rolex that later sold for $120,000. This is a fascinating story, and if you want to read it in its entirety, there's a link to this article as well as all of the other ones I've discussed tonight in the show notes below. So there you have it, you are now caught up on watch news. Thanks for watching.